and you will be forced to lower the RPM because it'll get into a runaway. Now if I go all the way to 50 connections and lower the speed, and I don't want it to run away and explode or break my machine, so I'll continue to lower the RPM. Maybe I can get down to 500 or 1,000 RPMs, and my generated power is going to be less because the wheel's turning slower. Alright, and it's doing all the work, pulling the wheel is what it's doing. The motor's no longer doing all the work, but this coil's doing the work. But we want to explore and experiment and thoroughly show you in video format. Me and Jordan, he's worked on it, nailed this up on a board, and anybody can do it in the backyard. Alright, you can put up a few posts and put your wire out there and wrap them around posts in the yard, and then put the connections on a board or whatever, and you're done. You got a motor, you got a coil and a rotor is what you got, and you can begin to explore. So what you want to explore is, first of all, you have to know that yes, you've been lied to, and it does work. You can get more energy out of a system than you put in. So that's the first problem or hurdle to overcome in people's minds. It's not a UFO. It's not a top secret military. We're not underground. This is just I think it was a 1901 patent by Nikola Tesla. He slipped in there as he was feeding the pigeons. Later, I'm sure he tried to relay the message, but the media made him out to be a madman. But he did give us a lot. All right. So what will happen in the end is that you want enough connections to get to 1,000 feet probably, or 1,200, depending on the RPM and the number of magnets of your wheel. You'll reach a place we call the null. You can stop there. Say it's 15 connections. That's well over 1,000 feet. For me, I'm guessing, let's say for the little bit slower running motor, which is safety oriented, and the more magnets, and having a C-core at the same time, let's say that we stop at 15. Well, I'll have 3 separate coils. I can get, now each set of generator coil wires can produce or can handle 450 milliamps. But will that produce 450 milliamps down a wire? I don't know. Those are small magnets and pretty big gaps, like 16th inch gaps or 70 thousandths gaps. That's pretty big for motors. They like 10 thousandths. This is not highly precision work. This is just backyard mechanics. So this is a test, just a teaser right now, and I will not abandon my YouTube channel. I will not get everything mounted up and then turn my back on you and laugh at you, pretty much. That's what's been happening. Most of the energy field is people come out with inventions, they show it to you, and then you never hear from them again. They got it working, and they're touting how they want to save the world, but they're actually formulating plans to make money with it. And then when they get bought out or they change their mind, then you never hear about the invention again. In this case, I'm just going to give it to you younger guys, like I'm giving it to my son Jordan, and you guys can improve it. You can see what causes it to work. That's all we're after. What causes it to work is that the coil is in series wraps. They're multi-stranded coil. they're connected in series. This is as simple as I know how to put it, and that's how simple it really is. And I'm going to be showing you it generating some power, and we'll be reflecting on Thane Hines' work. Now, Thane Hines shows videos where you have a steady state speed, the motor's running the rotor, and then you kick in some coils to generate power with, and the amp draw goes up. I'll be showing that, just like Thane does. And then generating beyond the number of coils needed so that there is no effect. So the prime mover does not slow down, but yet we get power. And then we'll continue to add sets of 10 or 15 till we use up all the coil, and we'll see that each time I add more coils, if they're long enough, that the amp draw does not go down. So that way we will all know and see that power can be generated without dragging down the input. That means we can have all the power we want without putting more drive power in. Of course, the first coil would represent over 100%, and the next one, you know, it just depends on how many of these coils we can get on there. More and more and more, we could theoretically end up with a COP of 10 or 1,000%. Not with one coil though. This is just a backyard test, and I'll be back to share with you my results. I may never do another one of these. I may never come to this form again, but before I leave and before I give up on any project, when I set my mind to doing it, I'm going to share it and I'm going to finish it. Okay, stay tuned.